Okay, so two of the most talked about legislative topics of the year got time to shine at the Idaho Statehouse today. Both of them, education savings accounts and medical rights for transgender teenagers. We're going to dive into both. One of those still taking place right now. Parris joining us now to talk about the committee hearing on the education savings account. Again, it is still going on, still listening to some public testimony on those in favor of it and those against it.
Yes, and folks that were tuned in here at 5 o'clock looking to see an answer, what did they vote? They haven't voted, so we'll circle back to this tomorrow. But yes, there is heavy debate, of course, on these ESA programs here in the state of Idaho and across the country. And today is really the first in-depth conversations we got to see in an official capacity. Lawmakers have been debating in the sphere of public opinion if education savings accounts should be rolled out here in the state of Idaho. Bill sponsor, Senators Tammy Nichols and Brian Lenny, they described their legislation as follows. And of course, this is the bill known as the Freedom in Education Savings Account, and it would create, according to the bill sponsor, saving accounts for Idaho families of K through 12 age children. And the act, quoting here from the statement of purpose, would allow dollars to follow students so parents could access the education services and environments that best work for their children. They could continue with funding the students, and they will get 80% of the most current available statewide average general maintenance and operational fund expenditures. Long story short here, about $6,000 would be available per eligible student based on 2020-2021 data. So they're taking a look here at really exactly should public money be able to follow the students into their individual education path outside of a public school. It's real contentious, and part of the bill, public dollars would be allowed to flow into private or religious schools through things like tuition. Now, supporters say that this is state money simply following state students to best help them in their education, make them a better member of society. But critics say that sending public dollars into private schools, who can do whatever they want really without state control, is unethical, and some say likely illegal. So public testimony underway this afternoon. Sounds like this hearing will go into tomorrow, so no vote today, but here's a taste of both sides.
I oppose SB 1038 because monies from our underfunded public schools that serve all children will be gutted to support this program eventually in coming years. Remarkably, there's no oversight or accountability for the actual education the students will get in their private, religious, and for-profit schools. How will we know what they are learning? Even though the state is paying for it. As a taxpayer and an educator, I'm appalled by this.
Over the last 33 years, I've taught every grade level from kindergarten to college in traditional, private, charter, and homeschools. The best school I ever worked for was a charter school. The worst school I ever worked for was a charter school. Overall, I view charter schools favorably, and I'm delighted that Idaho has this form of education choice. But my message for you today is that charter schools are not enough. In my experience, the best form of education by far is homeschooling. In terms of efficiency, flexibility, character development, and emotional health of children, educating at home cannot be matched.
And to be clear, that person was arguing in favor of ESAs. They thought that was a good idea to help things like homeschool education. In committee, though, this afternoon, there were more people testifying against the bill than there were testifying for it. Again, it's still going on at this hour. We're going to circle back to you for tomorrow. But